Ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you a textbook opportunity on advanced micro devices. Today, we analyze AMD. We take a look at a higher time frame and we determine exactly where AMD will head next in the near future. If we start the analysis here on the monthly time frame, the first thing which we have to do is determine the underlying trend. As you can see, basically starting back in 2016, after AMD broke out of a long-term so-called descending triangle formation and actually confirmed the breakout, we saw the beginning of a significant bull run on AMD. So far, from bottom to top, AMD has been rallying an incredible 12,000%, and despite the significant correction of minus 65%, which we have been seeing over the past couple of months, market structure is still bullish. If we now take a look and include technical analysis, you can see that first of all, for quite a long period of time, we're talking for more than 5 years, AMD has been respecting this lower green support trend line. Basically always when AMD retested this lower green support, we saw a beautiful rejection away towards the upside. If we now go ahead and duplicate this lower support and we connect all of the previous all-time highs, you can see we do get this upper red resistance trend line, which together with this lower green support trend line is forming a so-called rising channel formation. Since this is the upper resistance trend line, therefore always when AMD retested it, we saw bearish confirmation followed by a significant rejection lower, and that's exactly the reason for why back in March of 2024, I published a bunch of analysis explaining all the reasons for which I simply do expect a significant rejection lower. This is where things get interesting now, because after the drop of approximately minus 65%, AMD is now or already actually retested a so-called confluence of support. Because on the one side, we do have a major horizontal structure exactly at this psychological $95 to $100 level. You can see that this was already acting as quite important structure back in 2021, so 4 years ago. Back then it was acting as resistance, but since AMD is now approaching it from above, obviously it's now acting as support. And we also do have this lower green support trend line, which again therefore AMD is now retesting a confluence of support. You can also see that last month we already saw a significant rejection wick towards the downside, a reversal rally of plus 27%. This month with a move of plus 16%. AMD basically just keeps up with the bullish momentum. We already saw a rejection of plus 50%. And yes, this is already quite a lot. But if momentum actually keeps going, you know what's possible on AMD. What I think is possible is that AMD will simply head higher, will leave behind all bears, and might potentially in the future retest this upper red resistance trend line once again, which would then be approximately at this $300 level. Meaning that from here, if AMD actually keeps up with the bullish momentum, we could see a rally of approximately plus 200%. If you enjoyed today's analysis of AMD, I really appreciate if you smash that like button below. If we have anything new, anything interesting on AMD, I will immediately update you and publish a new analysis. I will see you tomorrow with a fresh breakdown. And in the end, just make sure that you don't get caught up in any of the recent short-term volatility and you simply keep your long-term vision.